Good day to everybody. Welcome to Hacking Self Storage. I am your host, Dean Booty. It's Friday morning, 5-minute Fridays. That's what we're trying to do. We try to have a 5-minute Friday, something that I find very, very interesting. And today is no exception. Next week as well, we're going to talk about, I've planned it out. I've actually planned it out. Something that I feel like that nobody that I know, not one website is doing this, and something that we're investing in ourselves right now. And we'll go to stats next week. Next Friday is going to be a great episode, so make sure you don't miss it. This Friday is equally as good. And what we're talking about is Freehold. But before I get to that, I just want to say that I've come back from the Fidessa conference in Birmingham. What an absolute amazing conference. I met some amazing people. Special shout out to Finn from Germany. He refused to let me buy a drink for him, and he came up to me and I was in the middle of a big round, 50 quid round, and he just passed his card over and paid it. So thank you so much, Finn. Thank you to everybody. There's so many people that I met there that I can't give a shout out to everybody, but there's literally, I woke up in the morning and I had like cards everywhere, business cards and everything. So yeah, it was absolutely amazing. And do you know what it's done? It's made me realize that the self-storage industry is hugely profitable, and we've got such a fantastic opportunity. I know I keep talking about it all the time now, but I've got a strategy that I am absolutely pushing forward with now. I want to borrow 1.5 million and I want to open these sites all over the place. And I'll tell you more about that. That's an extra 1.5 million I want to borrow. So I'll tell you about the strategy in later podcasts. I just want to refine it and make sure it's working for me first of all before I obviously tell you guys. And for those people who actually, people come up to me and say, you give too much away, I know I do, but that's the beauty about it. This podcast wouldn't stand. I'm not saying it stands out, but you probably wouldn't listen if I want open and honest. And so I'm going to continue to share it. And do you know what? The difference is that you can tell most people what to do and how to do it, but most people won't do it anyway. So I don't see this as limiting my potential or what I can earn, because I feel like a rising tide lifts all boats. And if we can all educate each other about self-storage and about the criteria of self-storage, then it protects your business in self-storage. I won't coming up and where you are, you won't coming up and where I am if the mathematics don't work out. And so we all understand the mathematics and all understand what criteria actually maps out a successful storage facility, then it's better for everyone, because we won't get, it's not the wild, wild west. We won't get people who are uneducated opening self-storage facilities where there is no extra growth, or there's no room, basically. So if we all educate people and educate each other, then I think that it's a rising tide lifts all boats. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really, really enjoyed the nighttime as well, drinking shots and all sorts. It was just a thoroughly enjoyable conference. And I've got to say that I really, do you know what? Overall, it was nice to be back in front of people, with people in a conference, because we've had so many years, 2 years or whatever, where 18 months where we haven't been able to do this, and you just take it for granted. And it was just fascinating to be in the same room with so many people again. And fingers crossed, we're all moving in the right direction now, and these things will continue to happen every single week. You just, once it's taken away from you, you forget how much you miss it. Okay, so today I want to quickly talk to you about the importance of Freehold. As you guys know, I have recently agreed a price for a Freehold, and the reason why I went down this route, I've actually got 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 facilities under offer at the minute. 1 has been accepted. 4 facilities under offer, and 2 of them are for Freehold. Well, one's for lease for 3 years and then Freehold, with an obligation to buy, and the other 2 are leasehold. Now, the thing is, obviously we all know that Freehold is the holy grail. Everybody wants to own their own self-storage. Obviously, I've just been to view another one today as well. I can't say exactly where, because it's on market, but it's, if anybody wants to, well, I don't know if I'm offering yet, but basically, yeah, I went to go and see another one today, which is a Freehold self-storage for an acquisition. So yeah, things are moving my end, and we all want to have a Freehold, but we all aren't in a position to have a Freehold. So like myself, I want to move quite fast, and I've got to realize, I've got to rein it in a little bit and think, do you know what? I don't have the funds available, the capital available to just continue to buy Freehold. So I'm going to have to accept that I have to do leasehold, and there's nothing wrong with leasehold at all, because what I want to do is get to a position where I can, after maybe 3 or 4 years more of doing leasehold, then I will only be doing freehold. I want to get to that position, but right now I'm not in that position. And to be honest, I had limiting beliefs about freehold. And if you remember, I went on a mastermind, and it was without doubt, it was the best money I have ever spent. It was an amazing experience, and this guy called Richard Davies actually opened me up to what is possible for freehold, what we should be looking at, and how we should be looking at it, how we should value it. It was just incredible. This mastermind, I was put in touch with the accountants that he used, the solicitors that he used, the developers that every single aspect was mapped out and put it in front of me. It was almost like when you go for a 3-course meal, you don't just have one knife and fork. You have 2 knife and forks, and you have your spoon sets, etc., etc. This is exactly the same. You had different knives, you had different forks, and you have a different utility. You have something different for negotiations, for example. For negotiations, he has somebody to help you with negotiations. It's just absolutely incredible. Next week, I'm actually interviewing tomorrow. This is what I want to talk to you about today. I want to just whet your appetite for next week's episode. Next Wednesday, we will be doing an interview with Richard Davies. Richard is, without doubt, and I say this respectfully to everybody listening to this who I've met, I know I've had relationships with, he is without doubt the most intelligent human being I have ever spoke about. Now, most people intimidate me with their intelligence because I don't know very many big words, and you probably notice that I say wrong words in different order, etc., etc., etc. But Richard is just on a completely different level. He is so intelligent, it is untrue. What this guy doesn't know about freehold properties, about what to do and how to do it regarding commercial properties and commercial assets, it is not worth knowing. The figures that he pulls out are mind-boggling. This guy has 5-year plans, 10-year plans, etc. I really want to help you guys, anybody who's interested in freehold. It is a must listen to. And Richard, it was only a one-time mastermind, was this mastermind I was on. It was with 6 people to get in the room. It was fairly expensive. It was £10,000 to get in this room. But it was the best return on investment I am ever going to have. The knowledge, the connections, the follow-up that this guy has done, it is going to live with me for a lifetime. The analyzer tool, where you just plug it all in and it tells you exactly what the yield is and if it's strong, etc. It is phenomenal. No stone is left unturned, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. We're going to dip your toe into exactly how this, it's called the OPCO PropCo method, is used, and it really is tremendous. I can't speak more highly enough about Richard. And by the way, he's so down to earth as well. When I first saw him, he's wearing joggers. He wore joggers every single day, I think it was. So he's just my type of person. He's very much what you see is what you get, but he's so intelligent. So he's a brilliant mind. And what he has done is, well, it's phenomenal. He has turned assets down in Bournemouth from, I don't have the figures. I don't know exactly. I'll butcher them. But basically, he has turned something that's now a cash cow, and it's fully paid off within 3 years and stuff. And he's turned it into serviced offices, etc. It really is monumental what this guy has done, and he is now teaching other people how to do it. And it's not for any other reason. It's not about the money at all for Richard. It's about coaching and helping and inspiring other people to really what's possible. And it's lifting the veil and allowing people and giving people the confidence to realize that, you know what, there's no reason why you can't do it. The Beverly site that I was looking at, that I've looked at, that we put an offer and got accepted, I would never, ever be in this situation. I looked at it before, but for me, I didn't think the numbers add up, but I just wasn't seeing the full picture. And so that is why freehold for me is so critically important. But you don't want to go into it with blindfolded, I guess, and not having the knowledge, because like I said, I'd have walked past that without even knowing about it, without even knowing the potential upside. And then he lifted the veil for me, and it was incredible what I saw and what is possible. So next week on Wednesday, we're going to go into that. And for me, freehold is the holy grail. But
Obviously, Freehold without massive backing, then it is going to be very, very difficult for most people to do consistently, one after each other. So yeah, I understand why people are going leasehold for the time being, but just give it a listen next week. And I promise you that if I'm going to ask him what sort of criteria is he looking for, what sort of people does he work with, and if that is you, I was going to say I will give you a refund, but I won't, because it's a lot of money. But if you ever believe what I say or trust what I say, then I promise I would never, ever, ever put somebody forward for you guys to listen and learn from if I wasn't fully committed into what he does and how he does it. I'm just blown away. And then obviously I have great mentors. I have Dan Bradbury, who I pay £35,000 a year to now. And I think that's a tremendous return on investment, I have Dave Davies coming to my site. I have other people that mentored me in the self-storage industry. I've had Adam Ballard, and I don't even like saying this, but yes, I believe that what Richard has shown me will have the most impact in my life, therefore will have the biggest ROI. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Anne. Sorry, everybody else. But yeah, anyway, I've basically talked about it. I've basically talked about it. But next week, we're going to go into it, why Freehold is so critical and crucial to your future success. And it's generational wealth that you are building. It's not just a one-time asset. It lives forever. So we're going to get into the nuts and crannies for it. And if you've got any questions, this is another reason why I want to do this podcast. If you've got any questions, but you want to put to him or ask or get me to ask him, actually, do you know what? I'm doing the podcast tomorrow, and this comes out tomorrow, so you won't have a chance. But if you've got any questions, then you can always email me, deanbooty@icloud.com, and I will obviously submit them to Richard, and Richard can get back to us. His team are absolutely phenomenal. All right, guys and girls, wanted to get that across to you. So next week we are starting the interview gravy chain, and there's loads of people I spoke to at the conference. If you do want to come on this podcast, and I always said that it doesn't matter at what sort of stage you are at. We've got people who have got. I was speaking to somebody who with 13 stores that listens to the podcast. I was speaking to someone with 300 stores that listen to the podcast. I was speaking to people who want to get in the industry who would listen to the podcast. I was speaking to people who want to invest in people who basically listen to the podcast. And so whatever stage you're at, somebody can learn something, because nobody has seen everything through your eyes. And so you're the only person who has seen it. So you will have the experience, you will have different expertise than everybody else. So please don't think that, oh, do you know what? I'm not the expert. Jesus, if I thought that was the case, then I would have never started the podcast, because I started this podcast when I had 2 sites. I've got a third one opening soon. And that is not impressive at all. So you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be the end expert, the best in the world at it, because do you know what? Then it's going to be a one-time person. That's it. So everybody is at a different stage, and everybody can relate to somebody. Everybody can take something away. So if you are thinking, do you know what? I would like to get on the podcast, then hit me up, deanbooty@icloud.com, because even people in the industry as well who are suppliers, as long as I can verify that you're a good fit, then I'm happy for people to come on as well. As long as you are useful and helpful to my listeners and to us, then we're all one big storage family. And then I'm more than happy for you guys to come on as well. So deanbooty@icloud.com. Jojo, if you could put a link to my email address in the show notes, that would be fantastic. Jojo is my awesome virtual assistant who does all the publishing and stuff. All right, guys, girls, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I can't believe how long this has been. I was only supposed to be 5 minutes. 3 times 5 minute Friday. All right, guys, girls, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.